This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and we're running holiday specials on the ads. Make sure you hit me up below, jordantowermedia@gmail.com. If you take your career seriously or if you take your promotion seriously, hit me up. Now's the time, all right? There's limited spots. Tory Lanez held in contempt again, okay? Because he won't cooperate during a third deposition. Listen, where is it that you have to cooperate? Why do you have to cooperate? We've seen plenty of people do depositions, including Michael Jackson, where they don't cooperate, and everything goes on because it's your right to not cooperate. What are you going to do? Send him to jail. Well, he's already in jail. He's already in jail. I'm tired of this whole Tory Lanez and Meg thing. It's a mess. Everybody's guilty in it. I don't care. Everybody's guilty in it. And what's the driver? You know, it's like it's such a calculated thing here, because it's like, I'm not saying Tory Lanez was completely innocent, okay? I'm not. I don't think he was. But I will say that other people had did their part in this, you know? The whole love triangle thing was insane. Insane, bro. So, I don't know. I just don't know. Then we got... So Tory Lanez, I don't know what's going to go on with him. Oh, yeah. Let me report Megan Kunev said, because she's pretty good at covering this case. She says, Tory Lanez and his lawyer have been held in contempt of court after Tory Lanez refused to answer questions in a deposition in Meg Thee Stallion's defamation case against Milagro Gramps. He's to pay $20,000. Jeez! $20,000, and jury in Megan's trial will be told that he refused to answer questions. You know, there's a couple things that Tory Lanez did that totally wrong here. He tried to win the court of, like, he was talking in records and everything instead of doing interviews and telling his truth like Meg was. So, like, he kind of did this to himself in so many ways, you know? He just thought he was going to go to court and it was going to go away, and that's not the case. It's just not the case, you know? So, unfortunately for him, it didn't go that way. Anyways, let's see what else is going on out here. So we got Tekashi. His house was invaded by robbers. 4 gunmen. And his mother was, they came in, they rushed the house. They were looking for cash. They wanted the keys to the cars, which is dumb because you can trace the cars. Meanwhile, Tekashi wasn't even home. And, you know, this is a little irresponsible on Tekashi's part, because you have your mother in your house, right? You have your mother in your house, and you have nobody there to hold the house down when you know you are considered a rat. Correct? Right? You're considered a rat. So it's like, bro, you I can't believe you didn't I can't believe you didn't protect your mother, you know? So his mom was held against his will. I mean, her mom was held at gunpoint against her will, obviously, and nothing happened. But the cops came and investigated. Meanwhile, he was streaming with Jack Doherty. I don't know, man. It's a sad situation because people shouldn't feel like they can run in your house and do this kind of thing. But you know, the criminals, you know, and he's a target. He flashes a lot of money. He has cars, and he's a target. He's a rat. If he was there, they might have killed him. Let's be real. Let's just be real about it. All right, so now we got Jake Paul has secured a fight with Anthony Joshua. It's set for December 10th in Florida. Oh, no, December 19th. I'm sorry, December 19th. It's a full professional fight, not an exhibition. It will be counted on both boxers' records. I wonder if Jake Paul's going to win this one. We'll see. Everyone said another staged fight. No thanks. It does feel, these fights do feel staged. I'm not going to lie. They really do. It's hard to like, even Mayweather's fights, they seem just calculated. I wouldn't say staged, but they seem very calculated. Where like, he never really like, we never seen him really sweat too much after a certain point. Like, after a certain point, he kind of architect his fights. Little Baby struggling to drop a hit record because he's so scared to talk gangster stuff anymore, because Fannie Willis has announced basically that he's a person of interest. You know, that she had the cops, they didn't arrest him or anything, but they had him announce that, 4PF and Little Baby's responsible for some murders that happened. Not saying he's a murderer, but like his presence in the area promotes violence and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, man, I can understand why he's falling back from everything, and he's changed the name of his record company and everything, but his music's suffering. It's not just that. It seems like his beat selection and production is horrible. He needs to get with like 808 Mafia or somebody and let them take control of the situation. There's no reason Little Baby should have fallen off a cliff. That's what happened. Bro, after 2022, it was a wrap. It doesn't even make sense. Young Thug's kind of in the same position. His last album was like, it was cool. It was all right. Cardi B kind of saved it with that one song. Well, it looks like Camron and May sat down with Max B, which is awesome. They did Talk with Flea. This will be out tomorrow. I'm glad Max B's getting the love. You never know when you come home if you're going to get the same amount of love. He is. Saw Pistol Pete shouting him out. Everyone's shouting him out, You see people in the comments, Mendices, everybody. Freaky Zeke says, oh, the rabbit got the gun. Talking about, I think that Freaky Zeke now has kind of like, you don't see him around Jim Jones anymore, and you don't see Sin City around Jim Jones anymore, right? They're more with Camron. Jim Jones really kind of isolated himself, and Joel's is kind of just stuck in the middle because he's kind of friends with Cam, but more friends with Jim Jones. They both went against Camron during the 50 Cent beef. And everybody was hoping they always could work it out and get back together, but they only got back together with business stuff. Maybe, Camron is... I always see Camron now trying to be the bigger person. So he's probably gonna... He still has respect for Jim, obviously. That's his... They're still... Don't get it fucked up. They're still bros, okay? Like, there's still a history there. It's just that Camron can't work with them anymore because he's not trustworthy. But he still got love for Jim, of course, right? Even though Jim tries to always beef with him here and there and blame him for everything, Camron just deals with it. But I'm going to tell you, I could see him in this interview kind of like saying like, yo, what difference do you have with Jim and can it be fixed? He's probably going to try to mend that because nobody needs to be out here having beef, Jim Jones needs to let it go, okay? You held Max too long, and Max reacted as any person in their 20s would react at that point, F you. That's what happened with a lot of situations. J Hood, a bunch of stuff, Like, when things go left, they go left. And then, when you're young, you go public with it. You don't sit back and get calculated. You regret it later because it would be, even though you'd still have the same feeling, you'd handle it differently. You try to handle it behind the scenes first, because once you go public with it, there's not really any going back because egos now are involved, Max B makes it clear he's doing it for EMG and not Bird Gang during his performance at There's Also Fuego in the Bronx. But that's just like, because it says, I'm doing it for Bird Gang. He just changed the words on the song, that's all. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's a beef diss or anything like that, so it is what it is. I'll keep you guys posted on everything. I'm sure we'll have more updates and all this kind of stuff. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. And I'm running ads cutting prices for the holidays. So, and there's limited spots. So make sure you lock in. All right. Hit me up at jordantowermedia@gmail.com and let's get it going. Peace.